But first up, the arrogance and downright sanctimony of the Palaszczuk government in Queensland knows no bounds. After weakening the Youth Justice Act to make it virtually impossible for magistrates to keep juveniles in detention, regardless of the crime, the Police Minister, Mark Ryan, is now blaming the judiciary itself for the youth crime problem that is sweeping Queensland. Now, as most people would know, I'm no fan of the judiciary in Queensland. There are shambles in many respects, left-leaning individuals who do not, in many cases, reflect community expectations in the way they sentence, particularly these Extinction Rebellion activists. But they can only work within the parameters of the law, and it's clear that the left faction of the Labor Party has hijacked youth justice laws in Queensland, and that's why there's a crime crisis, especially in North Queensland. Did you know you're 3 times more likely to be assaulted in Townsville than Brisbane? You're 4 times more likely to be assaulted in Cairns than Brisbane. The unprecedented spike in crime has resulted in crime action groups popping up everywhere, to the point where Labor now realises it could quite easily cost them votes at the next election. Labor holds all 3 state seats in Townsville and several in Cairns. If it loses a few of those, it's all over, Red Rover. So what do? They've introduced this so-called 5-point plan to tackle youth crime. Now, we had a 4-point plan back in 2016. Now we've got a 5-point plan. I don't know what that extra point is. And they're blaming magistrates for letting teen criminals run rampant. This was the same government who put the black-throated finch up there as an excuse to stop the Adani mine until Labor lost the federal election on May 18 last year. They then realised that Central Queensland put jobs before the black-throated finch. So what do? They blame the red tape of the bureaucracy for holding up the Adani project and vow to fast-track its approval. They're quite happy to see the project die if Bill Shorten was PM. This is a government that has lost its way because it's been hijacked by Jackie Trad's left faction. Whether it's vegetation management laws, no dams, stopping mining, unions running rampant on construction sites, thousands of extra public servants adding to the state debt now up around 90 billion, high unemployment, integrity scandals, the highest level of crime problems, you name it. This government has proven it is not fit to govern. Yet the polls show there's nothing in it. Latest polling has got the LNP and Labor at 50-50, two-party preferred. The LNP, they should be 10, 12, 15 percentage points ahead. Now, that's a damning indictment on how the LNP can't get cut through on the big issues here in Queensland. High crime rates will sway votes coming into the October 31 election. Labor has proven it is disingenuous on crime and soft sentencing, and the LNP will at least enact laws that put these recidivist offenders behind bars. Labor needs to fess up on its crime shortcomings, not blame magistrates. Queenslanders should be seeing through the blame shifting. Now, unless there's a miraculous turnaround, and that won't and can't happen under Trad, she's pulling the strings, Labor doesn't deserve to govern again post October 31.